Hello everyone. Today we have to discuss about nitrate assimilation. Okay, and nitrate assimilation is a biological process that carried in the plants in which inorganic nitrogen, okay, convert into the ammonia and organic nitrogen. Okay, so this process is called nitrate assimilation. And these are the learning objective of today lecture. To understand about mechanism of nitrate assimilation process that occur in the plants, and the importance of nitrate assimilation in the plants, and significance of nitrate assimilation in the plants. Okay, so first of all, we need to understand about uh, how the nitrogen assimilation is important for plants. Okay, as we know that living matter contains a large amount of nitrogen. Okay, in various biomolecules, like in the proteins, there is a presence of nitrogen element, and nucleic acid and many other biomolecule have nitrogen in their structure. Okay, and in these biomolecules, organic nitrogen is present in the oxygen oxidation state third. Okay, as in the ammonia. Okay, and during autotrophic growth, the nitrogen demand for the formation of cellular matter is met by the inorganic nitrogen. Okay, because in the environment, in the soil, there is inorganic nitrogen is present. Okay, so how the plants can use these inorganic source of nitrogen. Okay, so these are the two alternative ways by which the plant can utilize these inorganic nitrogen. Okay, and the first process is fixation of molecular nitrogen from air. Okay, so some of the plant which have this ability. Okay, but not all plant has this ability that it fix molecular nitrogen from the air. Okay, and the another process which have most of the plant, that assimilation of nitrate, okay, or ammonia, that found in the water or soil. Okay, so nitrogen assimilation is the formation of organic nitrogen, okay, or organic form of nitrogen compound, like amino acids, various types of amino acids which is required for the formation of proteins from inorganic nitrogen compound that present in the environment. Okay, and organism like plants, fungi, and certain bacteria that cannot fix free nitrogen. They solely depend on the ability to assimilate nitrate or ammonia from the external environment to fulfill their need. And other organisms like animals, that depend entirely on organic nitrogen from food source. Okay, like we are also depend on the organic source of nitrogen, and plant absorb nitrogen from the soil in the form of nitrate. Okay, so the primary form of nitrogen which a plant can absorb, that is nitrate. Okay, and the another form which can plant can able to absorb ammonia. Okay, so when the ammonia is in dissolved form in the water, it is NH4 plus. Okay, so plant can able to absorb nitrate as well as ammonia. And in aerobic soil where nitrification can occur, nitrate is usually the predominant form of available nitrogen. Okay, that is absorbed by the plants. So, how this process can occur in the plants? So, the first of all, the reduction of nitrate to ammonia take place in the plant. Okay, and this process can proceed in the two partial reaction. Okay, These are first of all nitrate. Okay, nitrate NO3 minus is assimilated in the leaves and also in the roots. Okay, so first of all, we need to know that leaves as well as root can assimilate nitrate, and in most of the fully grown herbaceous plants, nitrate assimilation occur primarily in the leaves. Okay, and although nitrate assimilation in the roots often play a major role at an early growth state of these plants, because at, you know that at early growth stage there is no leaves there, so the nitrate assimilation in the roots, that's why play a very important role for their growth and development. So in contrast, many woody plants, okay, like trees, shrubs, as well as legumes like soybean, assimilate nitrate mainly in the roots. Okay, and in the process of nitrate assimilation, the transport of nitrate into the roots cells proceed as a symport process. Okay, you already know that symport process is the secondary active transport. Okay, uh, okay, so that's why in the process of symport, the protons or two protons symport the nitrate into the uh, cells. Okay, and a proton gradient across the plasma membrane generated by the proton. Okay, because this is secondary active transport, that's why it require energy, but require energy indirectly, not directly use of ATP is there. So ATP first generate proton gradient in the process of support. Okay, and the ATPase enzyme characterize the uptake of nitrate against a concentration gradient. Okay, so against a concentration gradient, it must require the energy, but in the process of secondary active transport, there is no direct utilization of ATP is there. So the transport of nitrates take place as a symport process with the help of two proton, and the ATP required for the formation of proton gradient is mostly provided by mitochondrial respiration. Okay, you already know that mitochondrial respiration, in which there is oxidative phosphorylation is take place through the electron transport chain. Okay, so in this process the ATP are generated, and this ATP fulfill the requirement of energy for the transport of nitrate into the root cells. Okay, and the nitrate taken up into the root can be absorbed there and stored in the vacuole temporary. Okay, and nitrate is reduced to the ammonium ion in the epidermal and cortical cells of roots. Okay, so first step is that nitrate is reduced to ammonium ion. Okay, and this ammonium ion is mainly used for the synthesis of amino acid like glutamine, asparagine. Okay, so that's why this process is called nitrate assimilation. And this figure shows the how this process occur in the root cells. So this is enzyme nitrate reductase. Okay, and this nitrate reductase transfer electron from NADH. This is NADH. Okay, this NADH converted to the NAD plus, and the electron transport to the nitrate. Okay, this is nitrate NO3 minus, and this nitrate convert into the nitrite NO2 minus. Okay, so this is the reaction that carried by the nitrate reductase. Okay, so and this enzyme has three main domain. Domain means segment or part of the enzyme, where the first domain is FAD, and second domain is heme or cytochrome B, and the third domain is molybdenum cofactor. Okay, so these are the enzyme nitrate reductase, which convert nitrite to uh, which convert nitrate to nitrite. Okay, and in this figure you have to see that how this complete process carried in the plant. is, first of all, you have to see that this is the symport process. Okay, symport means when the nitrate entered into the root cells along with the two proton. Okay, this is two proton, this is nitrate. Okay, so that's why two proton and one nitrate entered into the root cells. Okay, that's why this process is called symport. Okay, and this transport occur against the concentration gradient, and this is nitrate. Okay, now this nitrate temporarily stored in the vacuum. Okay, so how this simple process take place, because you have to see that at this side, this is ATP uh, ATPase enzyme. Okay, and this ATPase enzyme by the use of ATP, which produce oxidative phosphorylation in the mitochondria. Okay, and by the use of this ATP, the enzyme ATPase transport proton against the concentration gradient and develop proton gradient. Okay, or due to this proton gradient, the nitrate transport into the root cell. Okay, so this is nitrate. Okay, now what happened? This nitrate, in the presence of nitrate reductase, this is the enzyme nitrate reductase, convert into the nitrite. This is nitrite. Okay, and this nitrite now transport into the leucoplast. Okay, leucoplast is a plastid and types of plastid. Okay, because in the cells there are various kind of plastid are present. Okay, like chloroplast, leucoplast. Okay, so this nitrite enter into the leucoplast. Okay, and by the enzyme nitrite reductase, this is another enzyme. Spelling are different. Nitrite reductase, and this nitrite reductase convert nitrite into the ammonium ion. Okay, now when the ammonium ion form, it can now convert into the amide. Okay, this now convert into the amide. Okay, you have to see that this is amide. Okay, or, you already know that when the amide are formed, it can enter into the protein metabolism easily. Okay, and the another process where the mesophil cells also involved. Okay, so the same process can occur in the mesophil cells where the this nitrate transport into the mesophil cells. You have to see that this is mesophil cell where the nitrate is entered. Okay, by the process of symport. This is symport process by which the nitrate enter into the mesophil cells by the use of two proton. Okay, this is proton. Okay, now this nitrate to convert into the nitrite. Okay, this is nitrite. Okay, NO2 minus by the enzyme by the enzyme nitrate reductase. Okay, now what happened? This nitrate entered into the chloroplast, into the mesophil cells, because you know that in the mesophil cells there is plastid are present which are called chloroplast. Okay, and this chloroplast has enzyme nitrite reductase. Now this nitrite converted to the ammonium ion. Okay, this is ammonium ion, and now this ammonium ion can able to utilize for the synthesis of various amino acid. Okay, and this amino acid can utilize and transport to the other cells of the plant. Okay, so this is whole process of nitrate assimilation that occur in the root or leaves. Okay, this is root cells, or this is leaf cells, or mesophil cells. Okay, and now nitrate is reduced to nitrite in the cytosol. Okay, and nitrate reduction use mostly NADH as reductant. Okay, NADH as reductant. Okay, and although some plants contain a nitrate reductase reacting with the NADPH. Okay, as well as NADH. Okay, so both are the reducing equivalent. Okay, so don't worry. NADH also a reducing equivalent, and DPS is also a reducing equivalent. But some of the plant only the NADH is used act as a reductant. But some of the plant NADH as well as NADPH used as a reductant. Okay, So the nitrate reductase of higher plant consists of two identical subunits. If we talk about the structure of nitrate reductase, okay. So so the molecular mass of each subunit varies from 99 kilodalton to the 104 kilodalton, depending on the species. Okay. So there are some variation in nitrate reductase in species to species. Okay, but the function of nitrate reductase are same in all species. Okay, so this is the enzyme of another enzyme which convert nitrite into ammonium ion. This is nitrite reductase. Okay, so nitrite reductase is the chloroplast transfer electron from ferredoxin to nitrate. Okay, and reduction of ferredoxin by the photosynthesis first gets shown in the figure. Okay. So this is the process which can occur in the leaves. And now the reduction of nitrite to ammonia proceed in the plastrate. Okay, and plastrate in the leaves, and okay, plastrate found in the root cells. Okay, in the root cells there is plastrate found that is called leucoplast. Or in the leaves where the photosynthesis takes place, the plastrate found in the chloroplast. Okay, so ultimately we can say that the reduction of nitrite can proceed into the plastrate. Okay, so too much laser extent the ferredoxin. Okay, required for nitrite reduction. Okay. This is coenzyme or cofactor that required for nitrite reduction in a leaves. Can also be provided during darkness via reduction by NADPH. Okay, and which is generated by the oxidative pentose phosphate pathway. Okay, so this NADPH is generated by the oxidative pentose phosphate pathway that occur in the cells. Okay, of present in the chloroplast and leucoplast. Okay, so the source of NADPH which is required for the reduction of nitrite to ammonia uh, comes from the pentose phosphate pathway or hexose monophosphate pathway. Now, the nitrite reductase contains a covalently bound the iron sulfur cluster. Okay, this is iron sulfur where the four iron molecule and four sulfur molecule are there, which bound with the proteins. So that's why this is called iron sulfur cluster or iron sulfur protein. And one molecule of FAD and one seroheme. Okay, is there. And seroheme is a cyclic tetrapyrrole. This is a molecule, seroheme, with one iron atom in the center. Okay, like heme. Okay, this is another molecule is seroheme, which is found in the plants, and it's structurally different from that of heme as it contains additional acetyl and propionyl residue derived from the pyrrole synthesis. Okay, so that there is difference in the structure of seroheme and heme. Okay. So this cluster, iron sulfur cluster, FAD and seroheme form an electron transport chain. Okay, by which electrons are transferred from ferredoxin to nitrite. Okay, and nitrite reductase has a very high affinity for nitrite, and it converts nitrite into the ammonium ion. And the capacity for nitrite reduction in the chloroplast is much greater than that for nitrate reduction in the cytosol. Okay, so the major site for the nitrite reduction is chloroplast. Okay, or leucoplast. Okay, but in the cytoplasm there is much less pathway is take place. And the fixation of ammonium ion proceed in the same way as in photorespiration cycle, where the glutamine synthetase in the chloroplast transfer the newly formed ammonium ion at the expense of ATP to glutamate. Okay, that forming the glutamine, because we know that the ammonium ion ultimately used for the synthesis of various amino acids. Okay, that's why the glutamine synthetase in the chloroplast transfer the newly formed ammonium ion at the expense of ATP to glutamate. Okay, and forming glutamine. And the activity of glutamine synthase and its affinity for ammonium ion is very high. That is Km for this enzyme is 5.10 to the power minus 6, 5 into 10 to the power minus 6 mole per liter, is so high that the ammonium produced by nitrite reductase is taken up completely. And the same reaction also fixed the ammonium ion released during photo respiration. Okay. So this is fixation of ammonium ion. Okay. So in this figure, you have to see that how these process take place. Okay. So this is chloroplast. This is cytosol. Okay. So this is called compartmentalization because this process occur in the different chamber or in the chloroplast. Okay. And this process occur in the cytosol. Okay. That's why the term is compartmentalization of partial reaction of nitrate assimilation and the photorespiration pathway in the mesophyll cells. Okay. So you have to see that this ammonium ion. Okay. This ammonium ion transport into the chloroplast. Okay, where it form glutamine. This is glutamine. Okay, you have to see that, and this glutamine cannot come out from the chloroplast because the membrane of chloroplast is impermeable to the glutamine. Okay, that's why it converts into the glutamate. Okay, so this is reaction by this reaction. You have to see that this is called. If you remember that this is the process of transamination. Okay. So by this process, this glutamine converts into the glutamate. Now this glutamate transport out from the chloroplast membrane. Okay. Now this glutamate can use for the synthesis of various amino acids. Okay, you have to see that. And this glutamate can also convert into the glycine. Okay, by the molecule glyoxylate. Okay, which is formed, if you remember, in the photorespiration. Where the photorespiration, the glycolate are formed, and this glycolate enter into a peroxisome, where the glyoxylate utilize glutamate and form glycine. Okay, now you have to see that glycine is the amino acid which can utilize for the in the protein synthesis. Okay, and this glycine can also convert into the serine. Okay, serine is the another amino acid. Okay, and glutamine require a specific transporter. Okay, see that this is a specific protein channel. Through this protein channel, glutamine can come out. Okay, and utilized for the protein synthesis. Okay, so this is the all process in the nitrate assimilation that take place in the chloroplast and cytosol. Okay, so if you remember the previous pathway of photorespiration. Okay, and the important the utilization of various amino acids for the protein synthesis, and the conversion of nitrate into nitrite. Okay, so this is very easy to remember. Okay, because if you know that most of the pathway is interlinked to each other. Okay, now nitrate assimilation also take place in the roots. Okay, as mentioned that nitrate assimilation occur in the parts and in some species, even mainly in the roots. Okay, where ammonium ion taken up from the soil is normally fixed in the roots. Okay, directly ammonium ion can taken up by the root cells. Okay, and the reduction of nitrate and nitrite as well as the fixation of ammonium ion proceed in the root cell. Okay, in an analogous way to the mesophyll cells. Okay, as same as the mesophyll cells. Okay, the same process occur into the root cells. Okay. And the oxidative pentose phosphate pathway provide a reducing equivalent. Okay, that is NADPH for the nitrite reduction in the leucoplast. Okay, leucoplast found in the root cells. So the reducing equivalents required for the reduction of nitrite and the formation of glutamate are provided in the leucoplast by oxidation of glucose 6 phosphate via the oxidative pentose phosphate pathway. Okay. So this is the substrate which utilized by the pentose phosphate pathway and produce reducing equivalent NADPH, which is required for the nitrite reduction. And now the like chloroplast, nitrite reduction in leucoplast also required reduced ferridoxin as a reductant, and in the leucoplast, ferridoxin is reduced by the NADPH, which is generated by the oxidative pentose phosphate pathway. And the ATP required for the glutamine synthesis in the leucoplast can be generated by the mitochondria by the oxidative phosphorylation and transported into the leucoplast by the plastid ATP translocator in counter exchange for ADP. Okay, counter exchange, the exchange of ADP. And the whole process of nitrate assimilation is a regulated process and strictly controlled process. Okay, because even each biochemical pathway that occur in the plant cell, either in animal cell, is tightly regulated. Okay, so the same way, the nitrate assimilation is also strictly controlled or regulated. And during photosynthesis, carbon dioxide assimilation and nitrate assimilation have to be latched to each other. Okay, because carbon dioxide assimilation is there and nitrate assimilation is there. So nitrate assimilation can progress only when the carbon dioxide assimilation provides the carbon skeleton for amino acid. Okay, because the carbon also required for the synthesis of various amino acids. Okay, that's why the both process proceed simultaneously into the plant cell. Moreover, nitrate assimilation must be regulated in such a way that the production of amino acid does not exceed as per the demand. Okay, so in that way, this is very strictly regulated process. And finally, it is important that nitrate reduction does not proceed faster than nitrite reduction. Okay, because both processes occur in one by one. When the nitrate reductase act, then nitrite reductase act. Okay. So since otherwise toxic level of nitrite would accumulate in the cell, which would be harmful for the cell, and under certain conditions, such a dangerous accumulation of nitrite can indeed occur in root when excess moisture makes the soil anaerobic. So at that time, the toxic level or nitrite level may increase in the root cells. In the synthesis of nitrate reductase, okay, because you know that nitrate reductase is an enzyme. So enzyme means it is a protein. That's why the nitrate reductase protein is regulated at the level of gene expression. Okay, so it is a control of gene level. Okay, that's why the nitrate reductase is an exceptionally short-lived protein. Okay, and its half life is only a few hours. Okay, so it is automatically degraded after a certain times of half life, and the rate of de novo synthesis of this enzyme is therefore very high. Okay, de novo means the synthesis inside the cells. Thus, by regulating its synthesis, the activity of nitrate reductase can be altered within hours. Okay, because the enzyme has very short half life. And another way to regulate nitrate reductase is a reversible covalent modification. Okay, so this is the another process by which the nitrate reductase activity is regulated. And the regulation of de novo synthesis of nitrate reductase allow the regulation of enzyme activity within a time span of hours due to the short half life, and this would not be sufficient to prevent an accumulation of nitrite in the plants. Okay, that's why during darkening or sudden shedding of the plant, rapid inactivation of nitrate reductase in the time span of nuts occur via the phosphorylation of the nitrate reductase protein. Okay, and this phosphorylation deactivate the nitrate reductase enzyme by reversible covalent modification. Okay, as you know that the process of phosphorylation, dephosphorylation regulate many of the enzymes in the plants as well as animal cell. And another protein that is 1433 are important metabolic regulator. So it was discovered that nitrate reductase inhibitor protein belong to the family of regulatory protein called 1433, which are widely spread throughout the animal and plant cells. And this protein bind to a specific binding site of the target protein with six amino acid containing a serine phosphate in position 4. So this protein also regulates the activity of nitrate reductase. And finally, the end product of nitrate assimilation. Okay, so the end product is the various amino acid. Okay, and the carbohydrate formed is the product of carbon dioxide assimilation. Okay, are transported from the leaves by the seed tubes to various parts of the plant only in defined transport form, such as sucrose, sugar alcohol, okay, or ethanol, depending on the species. Because the carbon dioxide assimilation also required for the synthesis of various amino acids. That's why the carbon dioxide assimilation provides the carbon skeleton in the synthesis of end product of nitrate assimilation. Without carbon skeleton, the amino acid cannot be formed. Okay, so that's why the carbon dioxide assimilation provides the carbon skeleton that required for the synthesis of various types of amino acid. And the synthesis of glutamate require the participation of mitochondrial metabolism. The glutamate is formed from alpha ketoglutarate. Okay, this is the reaction which occur in even animal cells also. Okay, this is the couple reaction. Okay, which can be provided by partial sequence of mitochondrial citrate cycle, and pyruvate and oxaloacetate are transported from the cytosol to mitochondria by specific translocator, and pyruvate is oxidized by pyruvate dehydrogenase, and acetyl CoA generated condenses with oxaloacetate to citrate. Okay, and the biosynthesis of proline and arginine. Okay, because this is the part of the nitrate assimilation. Ultimately, these are the end product of nitrate assimilation. So proline has a special function as a protective substance against dehydration. Okay, that can damage the leaves of the plants when exposed to aridity or too high salt content in the soil. Okay, many plants accumulate very high amount of proline in their leaves. In the some cases, several times the sum of all the other amino acid. Okay, and aspartate is the precursor for many amino acids. Okay, so aspartate is formed from oxaloacetate by transamination with glutamate by the glutamate oxaloacetate aminotransferase. Okay, so the synthesis of asparagine from aspartate that require a transitory phosphorylation of terminal carboxylic group by ATP, as in the synthesis of glutamine. So ultimately, the glutamine synthesis take place. However, it is not ammonium ion, but the amide group of glutamine that usually serve as a amino donor in the asparagine synthesis, amide, okay, that formed during the nitrate assimilation. And acetolactate synthase participate in the synthesis of hydrophobic amino acid. Okay, so acetylactate synthase catalyzing the reaction that have prosthetic group TPP, thymine pyrophosphate, and the reaction of thymine pyrophosphate with pyruvate yield hydroxyethyl TPP and carbon dioxide in the same way as in the pyruvate dehydrogenase reaction that occur in the cells. And aromatic amino acids are synthesized by shikimate pathway. Okay, so here the precursor for the formation of aromatic amino acids are erythrophosphate 4-phosphate and phosphoenol pyruvate. Okay, and these two compounds condense to form cyclic dehydrogenate accompanied by the liberation of both phosphate group through the aromatic amino acid synthesis via shikimate pathway. And even a large proportion of the total plant matter can be formed by this pathway, shikimate pathway. Okay, So the function of Shikimate pathway is not restricted to the generation of amino acid for protein synthesis, and it is also provide the precursor for large variety of other molecules, okay, that formed by the plant in large quantity, like phenyl propanoids, okay, so like flavonoids, lignin, and finally, the glutamate is a precursor for synthesis of chlorophyll and cytochrome. Okay, so these also are the end product of nitrate assimilation. So chlorophyll amount to 1 to 2% of the dry matter of the leaves, you know that, and it consists its synthesis proceed in the plastids, and chlorophyll consists of tetrapyrrole with magnesium ion as the center atom, with a phytoside chain as a membrane anchor. Okay, membrane anchor means this side chain can fix into the membrane. Okay, so that chlorophyll molecule can fix into the membrane, and heme likewise a tetrapyrrole, but with iron as the central atom, is constituent of the cytochromic catalyst. Okay, so do not confuse with the heme, okay, and chlorophyll tetrapyrrole ring. Okay, so chlorophyll contain magnesium ion while heme contain iron. And protoporphyrin is also a precursor for heme synthesis. So by assembling the heme with apoprotein, chloroplasts are able to synthesize their own cytochrome. Okay, because you know the cytochrome required for electron transport chain. And also mitochondria possess the enzyme for the biosynthesis of their cytochrome from the protoporphyrin 9, but the corresponding enzyme protein are different from those in the chloroplast. Okay, if we compare both the mitochondria and chloroplast. So finally, we have to conclude the discussion. So nitrate assimilation is the formation of organic nitrogen compound like amino acid from inorganic nitrogen compound present in the environment, and organisms like plants, fungi, certain bacteria that cannot fix nitrogen, depending on the ability to assimilate nitrate or ammonia as per their requirement. And plant like castor reduce a lot of nitrate in the root itself and excrete the resulting base, and some of the base produced in the shoots is transported to the roots as a salt of organic acid, while a small amount of the carboxylates are just stored in the shoot cells itself. Even, however, about 99% of the nitrogen, organic nitrogen in the biosphere is derived from the assimilation of nitrate into the plant. And ammonium ion is formed as an end product of the degradation of organic matter, primarily by the metabolism of animals and bacteria and the detritus organism. And it oxidized to nitrate again by nitrifying bacteria that found in the soil. Okay, so this is the process which we discuss in some other class, and thus a continuous cycle exists between the nitrate in the soil and the organic nitrogen in the plants growing on it. While nearly all the ammonia in the roots is usually incorporated into the amino acid at the root itself, plant may transport a significant amount of ammonium ion in the xylem to be fixed into the shoots cells, and this helps avoid the transport of organic compound down to the root just to carry the nitrogen back as amino acid. Okay, these are the references. So now you have to attempt the quiz. Okay, and at the end of the quiz, you have to cross check your answer with the answer key. So the first question is the form of organic nitrogen is present in the biomolecule. Okay, and it would be oxidation state, reduction state, redox state, elemental form, and the formation of organic nitrogen compound like amino acid from inorganic nitrogen compound present in the environment. Okay, and this process is called an organism like plant, fungi, and certain bacteria that cannot fix nitrogen gas depend on the ability to assimilate. Okay, which of the following? An animal depend entirely on, okay, organic nitrogen, nitrate, ammonia, nitrite. And during autotrophic growth, the nitrogen demand for the formation of cellular matter is met by the inorganic nitrogen by which of the following process? And the formation of organic nitrogen compound like amino acid from inorganic nitrogen compound present in the environment by which of the following process. And in aerobic soil where nitrification can occur is usually the predominant form of available nitrogen that is absorbed. Okay, which of the following is correct? And the transport of nitrate into the root cells proceed as with two proton as Thomson port, antiport, basic transport, and the reduction of nitrite to ammonia proceed in the plastate, mitochondria, vacuole. Okay, which of the following option is correct? And the reducing equivalents required for the reduction of nitrite and the formation of glutamate are provided in the chloroplast by which of the following substrate? By glucose 6-phosphate, fructose, maltose, which of the following option is correct? And now you have to match your answer with the answer key. Okay. So thank you everyone.